My daughter ignored me during her wedding and made me sit in the back of the wedding hall, so I showed her what being ignored really feels like, and now she's furious. I drove 8 hours to be there. Me, my 78-year-old mother, and my brother. We left at 5 a.m., stopped once for gas and coffee. I wore the suit I'd been saving for this day, the one I bought 6 months ago when the invitation arrived in the mail. When we walked into the ceremony, no one greeted us. Not the ushers, not my ex-wife, not either of my daughters. We stood there awkwardly in the entrance while families flowed past us, hugging and laughing. Finally, an usher seated us on the groom's side, not with family, the last row, right behind where his extended relatives sat. My mom whispered, "Did they run out of room?" I didn't answer because I didn't want to admit what I was thinking. The ceremony was beautiful. I watched my daughter walk down the aisle in her white dress, and despite everything, I felt proud. I teared up during the vows. My brother had to hand me a tissue. When it ended, we followed everyone to the reception venue next door. The reception hall had those fancy place cards on a table by the entrance. I found ours, table 18, all the way in the back corner, furthest from the head table. The kind of table you put people you have to invite but don't actually want there. When we sat down, I realized who else was at our table. The babysitter from when the girls were 5 and 7. He was 62 now, retired, hadn't seen my daughters in probably 20 years. I laughed and said, "What did you do to get punished and stuck back here with me?" He just shook his head sadly. He got it. Dinner was a buffet. They called tables up by number, starting with the wedding party and family tables. Table 1, 2, 3. We watched everyone else eat while we sat there starving. By the time they called table 18, most of the prime rib was gone. No salmon left, just some dried out chicken, cold vegetables, and rolls. We ate what we could and sat through the formalities. The wedding party made their entrance, everyone cheering and clapping. Then came the speeches. The groom's mom went first, talking about how she gained a daughter. Then my ex-wife stood up and gave this tearful speech about raising 2 strong daughters after the divorce. She got a standing ovation. The best woman told stories about college. The bride's man talked about inside jokes I didn't understand. 2 full hours we sat there. Not once did the DJ announce, "Let's hear it for the father of the bride." Not once did anyone say my name. My mom kept squeezing my hand under the table. When the speeches finally ended, the DJ announced the first dance was coming up. I looked at my mom. Her eyes were watery. I looked at my brother. He just nodded slowly. "I'm ready to go," I said quietly. We stood up during a song transition, grabbed our coats from the back of our chairs, and walked toward the exit. No one stopped us. No one noticed. We slipped out the side door and headed to the parking lot. 30 minutes down the highway, my phone rang. My youngest daughter. I answered. "Where the hell are you?" She was screaming. "You left? Without saying goodbye?" "Tonight wasn't about me," I said calmly. "It was about your sister. You should get back to celebrating. We wanted to take a picture with you. I went looking and someone said you left." My chest tightened. No one told me that. If someone had mentioned it, if anyone had come to our table once in those 2 hours, I would have stayed until 3 a.m. to make that picture happen. "You're unbelievable," she hissed. "You always make everything about you." "I'm not the one who seated us at table 18 with the old babysitter," I said. Then I hung up. That was 8 months ago. Neither daughter has spoken to me since. I text them every Sunday morning. "Love you. Proud of you. I'm always here." Every single one goes unanswered, delivered, read, ignored. Last month was the youngest daughter's birthday. I sent flowers to her apartment. She posted them on Instagram with the caption, "Thanks to everyone who remembered me today." Everyone. Not me specifically. Just everyone. My brother asked me last week if I regret leaving. Honestly, no. I regret driving 8 hours to be treated like a stranger at my own daughter's wedding. I regret every missed dance recital I worked overtime to afford, every college tuition payment, every 2 a.m. phone call when they needed something. But I don't regret showing them what being invisible feels like. Maybe now they'll understand what they put me through. I still text every Sunday. I probably always will, but I'm done apologizing for demanding basic respect.